Welcome to another video.
Well, hey there guys, and welcome to another video. Yes, we're in a completely different kind of surrounding as usual. I'm sure most of you tune into my channel and you see China, all the lights and the people and things like that. But I'm actually right now, of all places, Arizona. You might not be able to tell because there's all these sort of pine trees and stuff around here, but I'm kind of near the top of a very awesome little mountain here called Mount Lemon. Anyway, my channel's about China, right? But I'm on this big sort of American trip to go and meet as many of my subscribers and patrons as possible, right? But I have to keep it China relevant. So this first video is going to be all about the first initial differences that I noticed between China and America. Now, the first big difference I noticed almost straight away once you're off the plane and out of the airport is that here in America, you actually get time to sort of reflect and think about things. Now, just bear with me on this. In China, your senses are constantly under assault. You've got bright lights and things happening all around you. You've got noises and sounds constantly, doesn't matter what time of day or night. You've got people everywhere. You've got all these weird and wonderful smells, sometimes terrible, sometimes great. And basically it never stops. It really doesn't matter where you go in China, even in the rural sort of countryside, you've always got people and things. And, you know, I've traveled all over China and I know it doesn't matter where you are, there's going to be something going on. But here, you know, like you get behind the wheel of your car, that, by the way, you know, that's my car. That's the one I'm going to be using. It's in my name. I got the plate and everything. But you get in your car and you start driving and, you know, you kind of hit these spots where there are very few cars on the road. You're just chilling out, listening to the radio, and you've basically got nothing other than your thoughts. And you can start to think about things. And it's really, really something I've missed. You know, in China, I do have my own car and I drive around quite a fair amount, but even then, you have to be constantly on the defensive, watching out for cars pulling out, doing crazy things. You have to kind of be on edge all the time. You don't really get time to just relax and kind of have a bit of an introspective and think about things. And this is something that was just really apparent to me, you know, since I basically got behind the wheel of the car and started driving. Other than the whole introspective thing, but the biggest thing is that people here like to talk. And I mean it in a positive way. You know, just for instance, today when I went to the DMV to get my title and all that nonsense for the car, the lady who helped me, wonderful lady, she, you know, just started striking up a conversation. And, you know, it's kind of like you've met an old friend. People love to talk about family and all the things that they're doing at the moment. And, you know, big shout out, by the way, to her and her son. Who might be watching this video. But, you know, that's the thing. You meet people and they're interesting. They got stories. They're interested in what's going on. And it's something that you really miss in China. You know, in China, people are fairly robotic when it comes to their jobs. So I'll give you a fairly good example here. Just wait for this car to pass. For instance, if you go and go up to the teller in a supermarket, they'll basically, you might get a hello, probably not, but they'll just be like, do you want a bag? And then they'll say it's going to cost this much, and you give them the money and they give you the change, and that's it. But here you go to the sort of teller and they'll be like, hey, how's your day? How you doing? You know, they might ask you about what you're doing, and you might strike up a conversation. Sometimes it gets a bit much and it draws on a little bit much, and you got to kind of politely excuse yourself from the conversation. But I love it. It's so nice to be able to just talk to people and, you know, have these conversations. So it's definitely a positive thing. It's something I really like about America. I mean, also when I opened my bank account the other day, you know, the lady who helped me open the account, we had a long chat about travel and all this kind of thing. And, you know, it's really cool. It's almost as if you can just make friends with anyone and have a conversation. And yes, I do know that a lot of the times it's just, you know, they're doing a job and they kind of want to you know, they're being courteous because it's their job, and maybe they want to make sales and things like that. But either way, it doesn't matter where it comes from. The fact that they are doing it and it's polite and it's nice and people kind of have a smile on their face, and it's just something that I really have missed living in China. So, you know, those are the big major differences so far. I'm talking about the positive sides of America. Some negative sides now I'm going to bring out is, well, just today, for instance, pulling into the gas station to go and buy a couple of things in the shop, and, you know, you got a bunch of meth addicts hanging around, coming and asking for, you know, $1 for a bus, or $1 to, you know, buy a sandwich or nachos or whatever. And, you know, it's kind of scummy. Obviously, I wasn't in the best part of town, but, you know, that kind of thing doesn't actually happen in China. You get beggars everywhere, but you don't get that, I don't know how to explain. You'll never see sort of drug addicts in public kind of hanging around places. So, you know, you get this kind of scummy side, which, yeah, it's all over any Western country, you know, it's every other place I've been. So that's a negative that I've noticed compared to China. Anyway, I don't want to waffle on too long, guys. I'm driving on this beautiful road and having the time of my life in this this beautiful car. And I tell you what, say what you want about American cars, but American cars have got attitude. They've got personalities, actually, the word I want to say. You know, you've been living in China so long, and you've got all these BMWs and Mercedes and Audis and you know, Japanese cars and Korean cars, and they serve a purpose, but there's no cool factor to them. You know, there's no personality. People buy them for their practicality. You know. And this is such an impractical car, and that's what I love about it. You know, on these roads, usually I'd be saying I wish I had a motorcycle, but no, not in this car. You can have just as much fun on the twisties. Anyway, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys out there who are not into cars are wanting to turn off right now, so I'm going to leave it at that. Just to let you know, I'm kind of prepped now. The car's insured, it's all registered, I've got my bank account sorted out, and I'm pretty much ready to hit the road. A couple more things and schedules to work out. So I'll update you in the next video, and I am going to try and make every single one of my videos related to China. So that's it for today, guys. Great to see you all again, and you know the drill. As always, stay awesome.